Carlisle has now distanced herself, but has effectively thrown Henyard under the bus, the semi, and the train, revealing the depths of deception that she alleges that she witnessed while serving under Tiffany Henyard.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor...
I am a wife. I'm a mother of 3 children. My children and my family are suffering because of this loss. And Dalton Police, the detectives, have been sitting around twiddling their fingers on this case.
You out of order, Clerky. Like, stop. Y'all out of order. Everybody want to run stuff. Y'all don't run this house over here. Stop, please.
The situation with Tiffany Henyard just took a turn for the worse. Rumors are circulating that she might actually face jail time after the FBI reportedly uncovered significant evidence showing that she used taxpayer funds to support her lavish lifestyle. In a major blow, a whistleblower from her own team has stepped forward, accusing Henyard of embezzling public money and revealing how she managed to hide it for so long. This comes on the heels of allegations that Henyard had been misusing funds from the village of Dalton for her personal expenses, racking up millions of dollars in credit card debt in the process. While we've seen cases of corruption in office before, this one is shaping up to be one of the most outrageous. The residents of Dalton appear determined to hold Henyard accountable, with some even calling for her to face severe consequences. Although Henyard and her team initially attempted to control the fallout by encouraging some journalists to downplay the story as fake news, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who's leading the investigation, dismissed these claims. She publicly confirmed that the allegations are real, pointing to evidence such as receipts for the credit card purchases. Lightfoot made it clear that Henyard's extravagant spending is very real, as she lives large, while the people of Dalton continue to struggle. She emphasized that if anyone claims this is fake news, they are mistaken.
I am a wife. I'm a mother of 3 children. My children and my family are suffering because of this loss. And Dalton Police, the detectives, have been sitting around twiddling their fingers on this case. This is hurtful. When I've been in contact, I've been asking questions. I've been in contact with the state's attorney's office. I'm pushing this case. I've had the Crime Stoppers come out to do additional work canvassing the neighborhood, to assist the police, and nothing has been done.
For some background on this escalating situation, it all began in March of this year when the Village of Dalton's leaders and trustees called a meeting to investigate alleged misconduct by Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Concerns had been raised over Henyard's suspected misuse of public funds. During one of these meetings, Trustee Norwood disclosed that the trustees had requested financial records from Henyard, but she refused to provide them. Frustrated, the board decided to bring in former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to lead a formal investigation. According to Norwood, the last bank statement they received was in September of the previous year, and at that point, the village was $7 million in debt. "We're asking for transparency with the bank statements to understand where our money is going," Norwood said, "especially with high expenses on fine dining and travel. There needs to be accountability." The plot thickened when Henyard was hit with multiple lawsuits from former employees, alleging they were wrongfully terminated. One former employee claimed she was subjected to harassment by a trustee close to Henyard. She also claimed that when she informed Henyard about the harassment, Henyard told her to stay silent to avoid jeopardizing the administration's reputation. To add to this, it said that people had raised red flags about Henyard's actions long before this investigation gained traction, but she allegedly used her influence to stifle inquiries and prevent any evidence from surfacing.
But when she arrived at work this morning, something strange happened.
This was your office?
Yes.
What happened when you tried to open it?
It doesn't work.
Not only had Elston been locked out of her own office, but boxes of sensitive documents that she kept in her office were spread around the common area.
This was under lock and key before.
This was under lock and key.
And now it's just out in the open?
Now it's just out in the open. So it has the taxpayer's name, address.
So who did this to you?
Well, I imagine this new supervisor, Tiffany Henyard.
Brian and Natalie, it is very clear that the trustees in Thornton Township have trust issues, refusing to second a motion by Tiffany Henyard to get routine township bills paid.
Henyard seemed to be living like a Hollywood celebrity, treating taxpayer dollars like her personal ATM, while the community saw little to no benefit from her leadership. It's as if her only aim was to take what she could, with no intent.
We need to put some safeguards in place to regulate what's spent on the credit card.
I do not want a credit card. I do not deal with money.
Earlier this month, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot revealed shocking findings about Dalton's financial state, where Mayor Tiffany Henyard had been racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card charges, allegedly using taxpayer money to support her own lifestyle. Henyard's critics were vocal about their dissatisfaction, even staging a walkout on Wednesday night to protest her conduct. The corruption in Henyard's administration reached such a breaking point that local residents and officials demanded her resignation, calling for her and her inner circle to step down. Henyard, however, refused to take any accountability, continuing her alleged misuse of public funds. Despite overwhelming evidence uncovered by Lightfoot's investigation and years of ongoing allegations of corruption, Henyard is now trying to paint herself as the victim, accusing the media of only focusing on the negative aspects of her administration while ignoring any positive contributions. In a recent statement, she lamented, "It's good to see the media here, but I wish you guys would cover the positive things and not just the chaos and media spectacle. I get it, we're clickbait, we're hot right now, and that sells papers. But I wish you had come to our Easter event on Sunday. We had over 500 kids there, happy, running around, giving away baskets. It was amazing." However, her attempts to distract with positive spin aren't working. The FBI has continued their investigation, digging into every corner of Henyard's financial dealings, including a restaurant she owns and allegations of her scamming people through her charity foundation. Shockingly, reports show that this charity is not even registered with the state attorney general's office, which prompted them to send a cease and desist letter to stop her from collecting donations. Despite this, she allegedly ignored the order and continued raising thousands of dollars in the name of charity. According to the New York Post, Henyard has been issued 2 subpoenas. The first demands access to personnel files, wage and tax documents, time and attendance records, and information related to her businesses, including a restaurant, property management company, political action committee, and her unregistered charity. The second subpoena demands financial records from the village itself, such as budgets, payroll records, ordinances covering credit card purchases, expense reports, security details, and vehicle use. What they found was jaw-dropping. Lightfoot's investigation uncovered that Henyard had been using taxpayer money on extravagant personal expenses. Records showed she spent over $43,000 on Amazon in a single day, $7,000 on Wayfair, and another $2,200 at Best Buy. She also used public funds to cover personal travel expenses, spending nearly $3,000 on trips in the past year alone. The investigation further revealed that Dalton is now over $6 million in debt to various village vendors, with only $3.6 million available to cover expenses. Even more alarming, Henyard allocated significant funds to increase police overtime, raising the village's police budget from $7.7 million in 2022 to $9.2 million this year. These expenditures were staggering, far beyond what would be expected in a small town like Dalton. Meanwhile, Henyard continued to act as if this spending was a necessary part of her role, projecting an image as though she were on par with the president. The sheer amount of money she was spending on luxuries and security is more than what mayors in major cities typically require. Despite the enormity of the evidence, Henyard continues to claim these funds were used for official purposes, though the community finds this impossible to believe. In a dramatic turn of events, someone from Henyard's inner circle, Carmen Carlisle, came forward and shared insights into how Henyard had allegedly kept herself from getting caught for so long. In a statement to WGN, Carlisle said, "Today, I'm breaking my silence and speaking out against Thoron Township Supervisor and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who I believe has engaged in unethical and predatory behavior throughout her tenure. For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position to enhance her influence, all while projecting a false image of success funded by hardworking taxpayers of Thoron Township and the village of Dalton. I'm standing up, not just for myself, but for others who have been affected by Henyard's leadership." Carlisle's statement also hinted at a widespread culture of retaliation, saying, "I believe there are many more victims who have been retaliated against, fired, or lied to by Henyard but have yet to speak out." With a whistleblower now on record and Lori Lightfoot's findings growing by the day, it appears that Henyard's protective wall, which has kept her safe from legal consequences thus far, is finally beginning to crumble.
And guys, there's more. Now, Carlisle claims that Tiffany manipulated her for years, even pressuring her to falsely state that the mayor had no involvement in establishing the controversial Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Carlisle also alleged that she refused to comply, leading to her decision to expose Henyard's action. And in a powerful move, Carlisle has now distanced herself, but has effectively thrown Henyard under the bus, the semi, and the train, revealing the depths of deception that she alleges that she witnessed while serving under Tiffany Henyard.
As you can see, Tiffany's own allies are starting to crack under the pressure, and it seems they're willing to throw her under the bus to save themselves. Tiffany, realizing the heat is on, appears to be panicking and even publicly responded to Carmen's claims. She didn't hold back, calling Carmen some harsh names and accusing her of lying to protect herself. In a heated remark, Tiffany said, "I think I'm going to get you a new nickname, Lion Carlisle. I'm tired of everyone in here, there always has to be a show. At the end of the day, you were on board. We never talked about this, right? So you should have put in the same energy back then when you weren't saying a word months ago, or even a year ago." With things spiraling like this, it may not be long before Tiffany finds herself facing serious consequences. Her own team is beginning to turn on her, and she's lashing out in an attempt to discredit them and gaslight anyone brave enough to call out her alleged corruption. As expected, the public had plenty to say about this drama. One person suggested that the authorities should freeze Tiffany's accounts, as well as the accounts of the officers who allegedly benefited from overtime pay, until the investigation concludes to prevent anyone from hiding any stolen funds. Another commented that Tiffany should be removed from office by force and promptly arrested. But what do you all think? Do you believe more of Tiffany's team and the trustees will follow in Carmen's footsteps and expose the corruption? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out this next video to dive even deeper into this unfolding mess.